Revenge. It's one of the oldest human instincts. It can drive people past reason into brilliance, madness, or sometimes both. To defy logic, push boundaries, and sometimes create something so beautifully insane it carves its own legend into history. This isn't the story of a committee-built motorcycle. It's the story of one man, a record, and the deafening roar of a 2-liter single-cylinder middle finger to the person who took his crown. When a German engineer lost his title for the world's largest single-cylinder motorcycle, he didn't just try to beat the new record, he decided to obliterate it. His response was to build a motorcycle with an airplane engine. This is the insane story of the NSU Bison 2000, a 2000cc single-cylinder monster born out of pure revenge. This machine is the mechanical embodiment of a grudge. It's a thundering monument to the idea that if someone knocks you off the top of the mountain, you don't just climb back up. You find a bigger mountain, one so ridiculous that no one else would even dare attempt the ascent. The NSU Bison 2000 isn't just a motorcycle, it's a statement that blurs the line between genius and madness. And it all started with a passionate engineer who was pushed just a little too far. Before we dive into how one man turned an airplane engine into a motorcycle, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We've got a whole series of unbelievable machines and the wild stories behind them, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Now, let's see how Revenge built the most insane single-cylinder bike in history. To understand the sheer audacity of the Bison 2000, you have to understand the man behind it, Fritz Langer. He was a German engineer with a deep passion for a very specific type of engine, the single-cylinder, or the thumper as they're affectionately known. In a world obsessed with multi-cylinder smoothness, Langer was a purist. He loved the raw, simple mechanical violence of one huge piston doing its dance. He wasn't a wealthy man with a factory behind him. His workshop was modest, his tools simple. What set him apart wasn't resources, it was obsession. He spent nights sketching designs, reworking parts, and chasing problems most people wouldn't even attempt to solve. And he wasn't just building for fun. Fritz was competitive. His first major creation, the NSU 1000, earned him a Guinness World Record for the largest single-cylinder motorcycle of its time. For Fritz, that wasn't just a record, it was validation. Proof that his vision, his obsession, meant something. But crowns don't last forever. The world of custom building is all about one-upmanship, and records are just benchmarks to be smashed. News eventually reached Langer that his record had fallen. Another builder, Werner Dienstgrad, had created a wild steampunk-inspired machine with a single-cylinder engine displacing a massive 1,440 cubic centimeters. Just like that, Langer's 1,000cc champion was dethroned. This wasn't just a minor slight, it was a direct challenge. A lesser man might have tipped his hat to the new champion and retired to his workshop, but not Fritz Langer. The news didn't just disappoint him, it lit a fire. He wouldn't just reclaim his record, that was too simple. He needed to make a statement so loud it would echo for decades. He decided to build something that wouldn't just beat the 1,440 cubic centimeter record, but would launch it into a realm of displacement so extreme, so ludicrous, that no one would ever dare challenge it again. His revenge wouldn't be subtle. It would be forged in steel, weigh nearly 700 pounds, and speak in a voice of pure thunder. The seed for the NSU Bison 2000 had been planted. The decision was made. Langer would build a new champion, but that created a huge problem. Where do you find a single cylinder big enough to make a 1,440 cubic centimeter engine look small? This isn't something you can order from a catalog. He had to think bigger, much bigger. His search led him away from cars and bikes and toward the sky. Langer turned to aviation, specifically the magnificent radial engines that powered the aircraft of a bygone era. These engines use multiple cylinders arranged in a circle, and each one of those cylinders is, by motorcycle standards, absolutely gargantuan. This was where he'd find the heart for his new monster. While the exact donor engine is the stuff of workshop legend, what we know is that Langer got his hands on a single, massive air-cooled cylinder from an old radial aircraft engine. We're talking about a bore of 146 millimeters, or nearly 5.75 inches across. For perspective, the piston in a 600cc sport bike is about half that wide. He paired this enormous bore with a custom-made crankshaft that provided a stroke of 118 millimeters, or 4.65 inches. When you do the math, the result is a displacement that's almost unbelievable. 1,989 cubic centimeters, or equivalent to 121 cubic inches. Let's just call it an even 2 liters. Langer had found his weapon. He had a single cylinder that was over a third larger than the engine that took his record and double the size of his own previous champion. Just imagine the scene in his workshop. Langer, a man on a mission, standing before this colossal piece of aviation aluminum. Seeing that cylinder and envisioning it in a motorcycle frame required a leap of imagination bordering on madness. The scale was all wrong. The sheer size of the cylinder would dictate every other decision in the build. It was the sun, and the rest of the motorcycle would have to orbit around its immense gravitational pull. He had the heart of the beast. But this was just the beginning. Now he had to figure out how to tame it. Inside every engine, a violent ballet takes place. A piston is driven down by an explosion, then flies back up, stops dead, and reverses direction thousands of times a minute. The forces involved are astronomical, and they increase exponentially with weight. Here, Fritz Langer faced a problem that seemed impossible. The stock piston from his airplane cylinder was an absolute monster, weighing a staggering 3.3 kilograms or about 7.3 pounds. This piston flying up and down is a recipe for catastrophic self-destruction. The inertia would be off the charts. The connecting rod would snap, the crankshaft would twist into a pretzel, and the vibrations would tear the bike to pieces. The 2000cc dream was dead on arrival if he couldn't solve this weight problem. Langer knew this. He needed a piston with the same massive 146mm diameter, but at a fraction of the weight. This required a level of manufacturing expertise beyond his own workshop. He needed specialists, the best in the business. And in Germany, when it comes to pistons, one name stands above all: Mahle. Mahle is a legend in the automotive world, known for making high-performance pistons for everything from Formula One cars to heavy-duty trucks. Langer went to them with his impossible request. Could they forge a custom, one-off piston with a 146mm diameter that weighed dramatically less than the 3.3-kilogram original? It's a credit to both Langer's persuasion and Mahle's love for a challenge that they said yes. Using their vast knowledge, advanced alloys, and modern forging techniques, they created a masterpiece. They designed a slipper skirt piston, minimizing weight and friction, and machined away every non-essential gram. The result was a work of art. Mahle delivered a brand new custom-forged piston that had the same colossal diameter but weighed only 1.6 kilograms or 3.5 pounds. They had slashed the weight by more than half. This was the breakthrough. This single component made the entire project viable. The engine could now be balanced, or at least balanced enough that it wouldn't immediately shake itself into its constituent atoms. The revenge tour was back on, thanks to a beautiful, gleaming 1.6 kilogram piece of aluminum. With the piston problem solved, Langer could focus on the rest of the engine and, crucially, the chassis that would have to survive it. The custom crankshaft built for the Bison weighs an incredible 34 kilograms, about 75 pounds. That's more than the entire engine of many smaller bikes. This massive crank was essential to provide the flywheel effect needed to smooth out the violent power pulse of a 2-liter single. The starting point for this monstrous creation was, humbly, a 1950s NSU Console 500. But its frame was designed for a gentle 500cc single, not a seismic 2000cc beast with an airplane cylinder. The original frame didn't just need modification, it needed a complete reimagining. Langer essentially used the console as a canvas. The first problem was simply space. The 2000cc cylinder was so wide and tall, it wouldn't fit. He had to widen the entire engine block just to accommodate the massive cylinder base. This meant cutting, welding, and fabricating new frame sections. The main down tubes were splayed apart and reinforced with heavy-gauge steel to cradle the new, wider engine. New engine mounts had to be engineered not just to hold the engine's weight, but to withstand the phenomenal torque and vibration. The final motorcycle, while vaguely resembling an old NSU, was a far more brutish and muscular machine. It sat heavily on its wheels with an overbuilt stance. The completed bike weighed in at around 305 kilograms, or roughly 672 pounds. This immense weight wasn't from luxury features, it was the direct result of the engine's raw mass and the steel required to keep it from ripping itself out of the frame. The Bison was taking shape, a fusion of a classic 1950s look and brute force industrial engineering. This is just incredible, right? A 34-kilo crankshaft, a custom frame holding an airplane engine, it's mind-blowing. If you love stories about machines built with this kind of insane passion, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. We're dedicated to finding and telling the stories of the most extreme motorcycle creations on the planet, and you won't want to miss what's next. So, an engine's soul is its sound. And for a machine as outrageous as the Bison 2000, a whisper just wouldn't do. It needed a roar that matched its colossal size. Fritz Langer understood this perfectly. The exhaust he created is as simple and brutal as the rest of the bike. There are no complex baffles, no sound deadening, and certainly no catalytic converter. There is only one solution for an engine that exhales the volume of a 2-liter jug, a giant open pipe. Langer fabricated a custom exhaust from stainless steel tubing with a diameter of 75 millimeters, or a full 3 inches. That's the size of a drain pipe on a small house, but on the Bison, it was all for just 1 cylinder. The pipe is a work of minimalist art. It sweeps down from the massive exhaust port, curves gracefully, and then runs straight back, ending in an open/cut. There is no muffler. There is nothing to impede the violent expulsion of exhaust gas. The result is the stuff of legend. It's not a high-pitched scream or a loping V-twin rhythm. It's a deep, earth-shaking thump. Each ignition cycle is a distinct event you feel in your chest. At idle, it's a slow, rhythmic thump. It's like a giant's heartbeat. As the revs build, the thumps merge into a deafening staccato roar said to drown out even the loudest Harleys. This exhaust is a statement. It declares that this machine is not built for comfort or subtlety. The sound is the voice of a 2-liter monster clearing its throat, the sound of revenge made audible. In modern motorcycling, starting an engine is trivial. You press a button. The NSU Bison 2000 scoffs at convenience. It comes from a philosophy where the rider must earn the right to awaken the beast, and there is no greater test than its starting procedure. This 2-liter, 305-kilogram monster has no electric starter. There's only one way to bring it to life: a Kickstarter. Let that sink in. A Kickstarter for a 2,000cc single-cylinder engine. This is, without exaggeration, the Kickstarter from hell. Starting a normal 500cc thumper can be tricky. Get it wrong and you might get a vicious kickback that can break an ankle. Now, multiply that challenge by 4. Pushing that 1.6 kilo Mahle piston over the compression stroke requires a monumental effort. It's less like starting a motorcycle and more like wrestling industrial machinery. The rider has to stand on the foot peg, put all their weight on the long, heavy-duty lever, and heave the engine over with a powerful, committed stomp. There is no hopping on the Bison for a quick trip. Every start is a physical confrontation. In fact, due to the sheer difficulty, push starts are often the preferred method. Getting a few friends to help shove the 305-kilogram behemoth to speed and then dropping the clutch is often easier and safer. The Kickstarter is a gatekeeper. It's a physical test that weeds out the timid. It's a constant reminder that you are not dealing with an ordinary motorcycle. You are dealing with a monster that demands respect, strength, and courage just to get it running. In 2000, after 3 long years of obsessive work, Fritz Langer's creation was finally complete. Standing there was the NSU Bison 2000. The name Bison was a perfect fit for this hulking, powerful beast. It was the culmination of his grudge-fueled ambition. At its core, the Bison retains the spirit of the 1950s NSU console, but that's where the resemblance ends. The machine is dominated by that colossal 2-liter engine. The 75mm stainless steel exhaust snakes along the side, a constant threat of thunder. The entire package weighs a hefty 305 kilograms. Now, performance. With a 2000cc engine, you might expect triple-digit horsepower, but the Bison produces a surprisingly modest 80 horsepower. This figure is misleading. The Bison was never about high-revving horsepower. Its purpose was to set a displacement record. The engine is a low RPM torque monster. Because of the massive weight of its rotating parts, the engine simply can't rev high without risking self-destruction. Instead, that 80 horsepower is produced way down in the rev range, making the bike feel incredibly strong from the moment you let out the clutch. It's not about 0 to 60 times. It's about managing an immense chugging power pulse and short shifting through the gears. The bike isn't fast in the modern sense, but it is immensely powerful. It's the difference between a cheetah and a charging rhinoceros. The Bison is pure, unadulterated rhinoceros. Fritz Langer hadn't built a race bike or a comfortable tourer. He had built a monument. He had built the biggest single-cylinder motorcycle the world had ever seen. A machine that was intimidating to look at, demanding to start, and an absolute sensory overload to ride. It was perfect. The 3 years of struggle all led to one final step: official recognition. Building the Bison was a personal quest, but the whole point was a public declaration. He needed his name back in the Guinness Book of Records. Getting a Guinness World Record requires documentation and verification by experts. Langer had to present his creation for scrutiny. Officials had to verify the engine's 1,989 cubic centimeter displacement and confirm the bike was a fully functional vehicle. One can only imagine the scene as they first laid eyes on the Bison. The sheer size, the raw construction, and then the moment of truth, the starting procedure. The moment the Bison barked to life with that deafening, house-shaking thump, any doubts would have vanished. This was no joke. This was a real, functioning, and utterly terrifying motorcycle. The verdict was inevitable. Fritz Langer hadn't just beaten the previous 1,440 cubic centimeter record, he had annihilated it. The NSU Bison 2000 was certified as the largest single-cylinder motorcycle engine in the world. The coronation was complete. The king was back on his throne. It was the ultimate vindication, the conclusion of a 3-year act of mechanical revenge. He had lost his title, and in response, built a legend. His place in the history books was not just restored, it was etched in stone, forged in steel, and powered by 2 liters of brute force. So, what is the NSU Bison 2000? In the end, it's more than its specs. It's more than a single-cylinder 1,989 cubic centimeter engine. It is a physical manifestation of a very human drama, the story of a craftsman who was bested and responded with brilliance and madness. It stands as a roaring monument to the power of a grudge. The Bison 2000 is not a practical motorcycle. It fails almost any logical measure of what makes a good bike. But it was never meant to be. It was built to be an exclamation point. It was designed to answer the question, who can build the biggest? So definitively that the question would never need to be asked again. It represents a kind of creation that's rare today, built by one man driven by a singular vision with no committees and no compromises. It is beautifully and unapologetically irrational. Fritz Langer didn't just want his record back, he wanted to create a legacy. And with the deep, thunderous boom of the Bison 2000, he did exactly that. It's a beautiful, terrifying, and unique piece of motorcycling history, and a powerful reminder that sometimes the most potent fuel for innovation isn't gasoline, it's revenge. So what do you think? Was the Bison 2000 an act of genius or pure madness? Let me know down in the comments. And if you love stories about wild machines and the people crazy enough to build them, hit subscribe. We've got plenty more legends like this coming your way. And as always, ride safe, ride hard, and I'll see you on the next ride.